Right, we are talking. Well, first of all, it's me and my wife Nicky, or it's Nicky and me. Which is it?
Well, I think what we have to explain first of all, Jonny, is that
Let's get on with it.
we are recording in our car because Jonny and I have really amazing conversations when we're driving places, and I think they would be really valuable for you to hear. So, but we're trying to figure out our recording. So if it sounds shit, it's because we're in your car with you. So I want you to imagine we are going on a road trip. Today we're going to Dartmoor.
Yeah.
And
We don't have to pretend that because we actually are.
yeah, we don't have to. No, we're not pretending. The listener would have to pretend
If they wanted to.
if they wanted to that they were driving on a trip to Dartmoor. We've not done this before, but
Been to Dartmoor.
we've been to Dartmoor loads of times. We've been in the car loads of times, but we've never recorded a conversation before, have we?
No.
So we're gonna talk. What were we gonna talk about? I forgot what we were gonna talk about.
I tell you what we started off talking about was, I don't remember now. What we were talking about was, it all started off with when you're...
What you're good at your job ends up coming into your life.
That's not what I was going to talk about, but that's good. No, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, and then we'll do another one on what we're currently going through.
No, I think that's good because I think that is a very good topic. I don't know why I'm smiling. It's weird.
Because normally people can see me on YouTube as well. Do you put yours on YouTube?
No.
Oh, so I'm afraid those YouTube watchers, this is not one to watch. It's just going to be one to listen to.
Yeah. Because how it started off, we were talking about how a lot of people go, it started off the conversation with, to get rid of their stress, people do something like run or do something which seems like pretty healthy, good stuff. But then when you rely on that to clear your head, one is, what I've seen a lot of time is you might get injured and then suddenly you're going, and you either push yourself and injure yourself or you turn a drink.
Yeah.
But then we sort of went on to go in about the personalities, didn't we, of people, and how what draws you to something and makes you good at it is, I think I was saying that's what burns you out, and you said actually that very trait can make you not very good in other areas of life.
Yes. As an example, I used to work with a data marketing agency, and we used to have testers. So these testers their job was to look for fault in the coding and the software. So that was their job, and they were very good at their job. So, but what happens is what makes them very good at their job, as in looking for issues.
Bless you.
Looking for issues. When you're doing that, then seeps into your private life, and you end up looking for issues in your private life. Or one of my clients is brilliant at her job, and her job is to kind of overthink and overanalyze and help her clients, which is brilliant for her job. But when she's then in her private life, she's overanalyzing herself or other people. It's mostly, I think, the relationship with yourself. And you were saying what made you good at your job was...
Yeah, because... Let's bring it back to me.
Obviously, because it usually does.
Because I think a lot of police are like this, is that we're fixers. We're fixers, like we fix the problem. And that's one thing. And the other thing is, what I think made me good was looking at the detail. That I sort of thrived best when I was really sort of, you had a job and it's really complex and you were looking at all the things that could possibly go wrong, thinking of defences that people could have. But of course, and like you say, that makes you very good at that, but then you do that in life. And I think the big thing for me was I love solving a problem, and I like being snappy and going, right, okay, that's happened, let's put that behind us and go, what's the next thing we've got to solve?
Yeah.
But of course, what I've sort of come to realise is that's very task focused, and you can be like that with tasks 100%, but it's not relationship focused.
Well, I think what you just said there, you loved finding the problem and then solving the problem. And again, I used to coach a client. She was exactly the same. She loved solving problems. Well, if part of your brain thinks that's what you're good at, that part of your brain will also then create problems of which to solve. And sometimes there is no problem. Like, what if there was never actually a problem? Then what?
But the reason is, I think, for the fixer is, I totally agree with that. Like, and the reason is what I believe is, it's because you get a hit. Like, our brain is wired to move towards that pleasure and like chase that dopamine. And there's nothing better than when there's something really difficult. Maybe I used to love it if someone else hadn't solved it. Like, when we're on the squad, someone will go, "Oh, this person's been wanted for 6 months."
Yeah.
And you go out, you've got this problem, and then suddenly you solve it, and you get this massive rush.
Yeah.
And really, that's what you're chasing. But of course, in life, really, that's all I think the brain is doing, because then you go, "Oh, if I solve a problem, I get that excitement."
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, none of this is bad. It's just, I think, having that balance with everything and being aware of it. But the problem is when being the fixer is your identity, as in your self-worth, your value, is attached to being able to fix stuff.
Oh, I like this road. It's taken us a funny way today.
That's the
Isn't it?
gliding club. It's lovely.
So let's bring it back then to what actually started the conversation, was around, isn't it interesting how, and we were like this, weren't we, 100% before we discovered how to manage your mind and how to manage your emotions, was that we would do stuff to try and feel better, and that it was never for me running or exercise. I've never actually done that, but eating chocolate, eat crisps, sweets, cheese, for a lot of people is alcohol, spending money is a big one, isn't it? They do these temporary things to feel better, and I think, or they go for a run to clear their head, or I need to do that thing to clear my head, go to the gym or whatever, and those things are perceived to be healthy. And I think if you do that very deliberately as a way of processing through your mind and your emotions, I think that would be fine. But most people are doing it as a way of avoidance. Well, what we were saying was, if you just learn to understand that your emotions are like harmless, they don't necessarily need to be got rid of, and actually you could sit and meditate, which would be a lot more effective. Then when you go out then you don't need to have that external. They're nice to do and beneficial for your health, but it's not a need to have. So if you are injured and you can't go for a run or exercise, you've still got tools on which to deal with yourself.
But also, I think is none of this is good or bad, and we are a certain way, because I've been working with someone, and we talk about where things aren't working in their life, how maybe this obsessive always wanting to achieve is actually costing them, say, connection with their family, because they're being patient. But then you go, we don't have to change all of it. Like, people suddenly really think you've got to become someone very different. I know for me, my view is, I think we've been plonked into this body. Yeah. And we are, there's some things that, that is how we are. It's like we're driving down Dartmoor now, going canoeing, and I get such a buzz. I'm very dopaminergic. I love that. Yeah. But I think the whole thing is, it's not that suddenly you've got to become a monk and meditate and you suddenly go, and stop chasing these things. No. I think you just become aware of it and get it in balance. Yeah. So I know, for me, like, I'm aware of because of how my brain works, what we're doing now, kayaking, is like a drug.
I'm not kayaking, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I'm sat in the passenger seat and I'm going to go for a nice walk in nature.
But it's like, whereas that, I like doing that, but I wouldn't get so much out of that. Like, for me, going kayaking is like the excitement before. Literally, I was sat on the sofa and I decided, you get all buzzy, and you're like, yeah, like now I haven't got a worry in the world, because all I'm thinking about is getting on that river. Yeah. But, so would I want to be someone that just sits and contemplates all the time? No. But what I realise is, just like with anything, it's moderation. And I heard this great quote of too much of anything is bad for you. So oxygen is good for you.
Yeah.
Don't want to be without it. But if you had too much of it, it will kill you.
Yeah.
And it's the same with it. And I think this is what this work is. It's not about becoming some sort of monk and taking away all the pleasure of life. You can if you want. But it's about going, if I need, and this is it, this would be a good thing to like the need. If this is something I need instead of want,
Yeah.
it will control my life, and then it could have negative effects in the areas that are really important to me, like family.
And I think, as an example, like holidays are like this, aren't they? Some people will work over weekends in order to pay for a holiday because they need a holiday.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't need a holiday, then those weekends that you were working, you could have actually have spent time, very present, relaxed time with your children, if that's what you, or your family, or doing whatever it is that you actually want to do. So that need to have a week or 2 weeks holiday has actually stolen from you those weekends or those extra hours of working and the stress to pay for that holiday. That 2 weeks has cost you months of dis-ease, hasn't it?
The very reason you're doing it, aren't you? You're doing, I want to spend time with family, so then you're working more to go on a holiday,
Yeah.
and you're actually missing out. But I don't want anyone to think that we're saying you don't do that, because we save
Yeah.
up and go on holiday.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is the difference between a need and a want. That's huge.
Yeah.
Like if you've got something and you go, I need that holiday, you
Yeah.
will sacrifice all your short-term health and all the short-term benefits
Yeah.
for that. If you go, I need it, whatever
Yeah.
you think you need in the short term, your brain will go, screw that, I don't want any of that, we're going to
Yeah.
work for that. Whereas if you go, it's just something you want,
Yeah.
you can put it down. Because that was like me this morning. I looked at the
That dog looking at us through the
I
window.
know. He's dogging me up. But if you look, like this morning when I looked at those levels, I suddenly felt this excitement, and it definitely drops into like, I need to go, but then when you go, no, what about if I didn't go today? Because our boy Blue, wasn't it? He's at someone's house and might have to pick him up. But because I don't say I've got there, but I'm getting there where I don't need it. I knew all options were available to me. So I could come down here, have a good time, or if it went, oh no, we got to pick Blue up at midday, I could go, put that down, and then go and do this.
Yeah, without any stress or annoyance around it.
And what I find is that there would be, and I don't want people to misinterpret this, that you suddenly can just switch and feel no discomfort.
Yeah.
But I would know. Oh, I've got sneeze coming.
Oh, bless you beforehand.
Or
is it one of those that tickles and then
coming.
it doesn't come?
It's not coming.
I hate that when that happens.
Oh, it's like the opposite of what I normally have. It's not coming. but you're able to put it down.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, like, people think then you can just switch and go, I really want to do that, now I can. I know that if we'd stayed at home, my brain would be going, I really want to go.
Yes.
But all it's doing is chasing a pleasure. It's anticipated how good that thing's going to feel. It wants it, and it feels a little bit disappointed it's not getting it. But when you know that, what you can do is you can prioritise your life.
Well, and I think on top of that, it's also about understanding that of course you're going to feel disappointed, and disappointment is okay and also temporary. So I haven't got an example that's coming to my mind right now quickly, but I know you quite often say to me, are you disappointed if we don't do that then, Nick? And I'm really like, well, yeah, of course I am, but that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it's also not then thinking that you're never going to feel disappointed, because if you're actually really looking forward to something, disappointment is a natural, appropriate course, like progression, if you then can't do that thing you love. So on top of that, then being okay feeling disappointed, which actually doesn't last, then you can shift out of that quicker because you're okay with disappointment, which then brings you back to the present and back to actually your values and your priorities and what is actually important in your life.
But you probably can't think of an example because very rarely do I disappoint you.
Well, you'd like to think that was the point, wouldn't you?
That's probably why.
That's probably why.
But
of course that's why.
It is. It
What
is.
do we know you hit that car?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So if someone was listening to this then and they were like, oh my gosh, I need to go for a run to clear my head, or I need to have that glass of wine to relax, or I need to go to the gym, or I need to buy something to feel better, where would you suggest they started
I have a
to
wank
change
instead.
that?
Maybe not on the cycle path.
Or on the sofa if your family are around. And
Or
you're
else
scrolling. Oh,
excuse
there's
me.
the sneeze.
Oh, anticipation
you.
of the sneeze.
It's because you're talking about wanking.
No, what? Right.
But that
First-
might be the case, actually. Someone might need to wank, mightn't they? I think that's
that is- it's
actually
exactly
very
the same.
relevant.
It's exactly the same. Not when you're running, not at the same time as running. That'd be quite
Well.
impressive. I think the thing for me is starting off, whatever changes you're going to make, start off small.
Yeah.
And it starts with awareness. And what you'll find is, well, my type of person I work with is the all or nothing. It's like, right, we're going to make a change. So just say someone's going running, they're obsessive about that, they turn their obsession to something else. Like for me, when I suddenly thought I'm going to try meditating, I wanted to meditate for an hour straight away and do all this. That is really the issue, is that obsessive nature. And I think it's about going, right, if this isn't working for you, say like you need to run, become aware of that, and then just start to make small changes, small changes, and just maybe sit for 2 minutes. And what I say to people is just stop and be still. And if you go, I can't do that, that's the very reason you should do it.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is you're being dictated to by your brain, and all that's happening is when you go running, or you have a drink, it's not that you're solving the problem that you think is, like your work, and it's not even that you're shutting the voice up. You're just distracting yourself from it. It's still there, and those thoughts you're having are all still there. So I would say, learn just to either sit and watch it, or just write it down and literally commit to like 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Maybe even 1 minute for some people, because this is what I hear a lot as well, especially with working women. They're like, I can't sit still, I can't stop. And the reason they think they can't do that is because when you do stop, the only thing then you have is you, and that you and that chatter in your head, that voice, or however you want to describe it, your thoughts. And so when you stop, you can't not then hear that. So people busy themselves to avoid that voice.
Yeah.
And when people learn, and I say learn very deliberately because we're not taught how to do this, it's not a natural thing.
And practice.
Yeah, is when you learn that voice isn't actually talking the truth. Like the shitty voice that I have in my head tells me the same shitty sentences that you hear in your head. So this is like all the people have that shitty voice, and it's only trying to keep us safe. In some weird way, it thinks that, anxiety, fear, that's going to keep us safe in the familiar. But when you learn that voice, one, isn't talking the truth, two, is completely harmless, then you're able to sit and listen to it without a judgment. Because most people are sitting and listening to it thinking, oh my God, what it's telling me is true. Therefore they feel uncomfortable, therefore they have to get up and do something, keep themselves busy, avoid, go for the run to clear their head, drink the wine to numb. And I think it's also worth mentioning that temporarily those things do work.
Yeah.
Wine, alcohol, beer does relax and numb. Chocolate and food does release, dopamine that makes you feel good temporarily. But with all the running, for the people that are listening, just consider this for a second. All the running that you've done, or the eating that you've done, or spending money that you've done, drinking alcohol that you've done, if that thing makes you feel better, you should be, in theory, the happiest person in the world, because you've done it so much. So at what point do we realise actually that's not a long-term solution.
Yeah, and I think the thing that comes up for me is most people's only problem, I'd say all people's only problem is they're trying to escape themselves. So basically they're trying to escape that voice. So they got this little voice, and what happens is when you stop, so first of all, like when you're doing stuff, like we're focused doing this, I'm thinking about going canoeing.
Yeah.
My brain is focused on that, so the little voice literally can't be heard.
Yeah.
And what actually happens is, because I like knowing the science of it, and if you want to read a good book on it, The Rise of Superman, about the flow state by Stephen Kotler, explains it. The bit in your brain, that constant chatter that's going, I'm not good enough, I need to be doing this, I shouldn't be resting, and all this, that chatters away like an incessant monkey, is in this bit called the prefrontal cortex, this developed part of the brain.
Yeah.
And when you're focused on something, whether it be your work, going for a run or doing that, and you're in that flowy type state, the blood diverts from that part of the brain. So literally, it's offline. It's literally offline in that moment. But of course, and that feels lovely. Like when I'm going down the upper dart later, there will be no worries in my life apart from taking my teeth out on rocks. And that is, when you're in that flow state, it's like a drug, there's nothing like it, which is what we love when we go running and doing stuff.
Yeah.
But all of that if you're doing it to clear your head, it's like all you're doing is you're attempting to eliminate that voice.
Yeah.
And what I think is the more sustainable and healthy way, so you can make choices and instead of being dictated to by this voice and a need, is you learn to actually befriend it. So instead of pushing it away and going, right, it's horrible, and literally you're running away from it.
Yeah.
What you do is you stop and you invite it in and you give it a seat at the table, and sometimes it might make the decisions, but there's a counsel of you.
Yeah.
And I think that for me is the difference. And when you can learn to live, like you get that relationship with that voice, what happens, this is my experience,
The
is
sun's shining, isn't it gorgeous?
it's lovely, isn't it? When you go and do something,
Yeah.
and that voice is chattering, you learn that to not ignore it, but you learn not to believe it.
Yeah.
And then all these things that you do, that you like doing, you can do them because you like them, not because you need to do them. And then when you're doing it, when you feel good, you know intellectually, all I've done is I've just diverted the blood in my brain and quieted that chatter.
Yeah.
And when I stop, that chatter will come back, and that's fine. Because, like we said before, like if you do something, like for me, I was always a doer because of that voice in my head. But when you work long days and then you still got to go and do stuff, you're not. You can never rest.
Yeah.
And actually, when you're tired and doing stuff, say like you worked a long day at work, and then you're coming home and you're not spending time with your family, that voice is going to be loud in that moment because it's going to be going, you're abandoning your family, you're letting them down, you're not doing enough at work. And then you go for a run and you go, it's quiet. But then you stop and the voice comes back.
Yeah.
And when you're tired, it comes back to 10 times as loud.
And so the way that I do it with my clients is ABC. So you become I say acknowledge, but you become aware and acknowledge those voices in your head. And I invite you to do that with so much compassion, because that part of your brain, whatever part it's coming from, its only job is trying to keep you safe. It's really trying to protect you. So this isn't a malicious part. This isn't now another reason to beat yourself up. Look at that rainbow. This isn't another reason to beat yourself up. It's a reason to go, isn't this fascinating? That then allows you to take a really nice deep breath. So A, awareness and acknowledge. B, breathe. And what that does, not that I'm a breath expert, but we all know the essentials of breathing. You're more interested in breathing than I am, aren't you?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Doing it right now.
But me too.
Yeah,
Multitasking.
You're an expert.
But what then happens is when you take a nice deep breath, that calms your nervous system down, which influences your brain to go, hang on a minute, this isn't life-threatening. And then you get to choose. So A, B, C. A, acknowledge. B, breathe. C, choose. And you can choose, again, with compassion. Okay, what is important? What are my priorities? What do I actually want to do, change, be, whatever it is, in whatever circumstance?
It really comes down to having awareness of that voice, not believing it, and learning to feel discomfort. Because I think I was sat on the sofa last night, you'd gone to bed, and I was sat there watching Tulsa King.
What happened in the...
I can't remember, I wasn't really watching it.
Oh, were you?
No, I was sort of snoozing and dozing, so...
Oh, right. We'll have to watch it again then.
But I was watching that, and I felt this, and this is what I find a lot of people probably will resonate with, this sort of boredom, and everything, and this makes it worse when life is actually, on paper, really good, but you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
You're going, like, our boys were out, and that's probably something.
Sorry everybody, if that noise just went funny, it's because you fell on the floor.
Because the boys are out, and that's something I'm working on at the moment, because they're sort of starting to do their own thing more. And I was sat there, and I just felt a bit blur.
Yeah.
But that saying from Tom Hanks, "This too shall pass."
Yes.
As in, in that moment, what I wanted to do, and I caught myself doing, because we haven't got this nailed down, we don't. Is I found myself scrolling, which is probably why I didn't know what was going on in Tulsa King, because I started looking at a canoeing video.
Oh, okay.
And then I just don't do that now. I don't normally have my phone when we're watching movies and that.
Yeah.
But what I was searching for was a better feeling.
Yeah.
And so watching the film wasn't doing that, and then we're searching for it, and I noticed it, stopped it, and then was just there feeling it, and it feels shit, because you go, oh, it just feels like, for me, it's like a ugh.
Yeah.
But I also know that with every high comes a low, and then after every low, if you don't do anything with it, there will be a high the other side.
Yeah.
It's those peaks and troughs of life.
Yeah.
But so I really think it's about learning to go, when you feel like that, and you feel like, oh, I'm going to go and change my state because I don't feel great, is that taking that pause and going, do you have to?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow morning, like now, that last night is not a problem.
Yeah.
It will pass.
Yeah.
But how I'm feeling now will pass. I feel really excited.
The positive will also pass.
And I know after I get off the river, there will be a burst of endorphins and dopamine, and it is like nothing else I experience.
Yeah.
But I also know tomorrow that will come down.
Yeah.
But just knowing
that is the natural course of it, the flow of...
This is the flow, and I think what we're doing is we're trying to chat and quieten that voice, because we just don't want to experience any negative emotion.
Yeah.
So the moment it comes in, we try and change it, but then what we actually do is we create more negativity.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, think of all the things you've been doing to try and feel happier.
Yeah.
All the things you're doing, maybe you're drinking, party, doing all this stuff, running and doing all this, and go, are you happy 100% of the time?
Yeah.
Because you'll probably find, no, the split is more like 20% of the time you're happy.
Yeah.
So the more we stop trying to pursue happiness, realise it's not something we pursue, and just go with those ebbs and flows of life and not try and change it, the more content and fulfilled you'll be.
Yeah.
Boom!
Boom.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. So I think we should talk about the highs and lows, because we've been going through it right now, but I think that might be a different episode.
Well, it could be the next one, couldn't it? The highs and lows.
The highs and lows of because we are going through it now. So shall I stop recording this one?
What one?
This one.
Well, we'll do that one.
And we'll do that one.
So this is this one.
This is this one, and that's that one.
We can do that one.
That one. We find that funny. You won't even find that what we just said funny, but we find that funny because there's a really brilliant comedian called
Jamone.
He's Irish, but he lives in Australia, and he's very funny. Google him.
Put in YouTube Jamone, which is Jamone, Jimoin. I don't know if there's an E on the end as well. Jim.
It's all one word, isn't it? Jimoin.
Yeah. Jimoin. And there might be an E on the end. But if you put in Jimoin, this is this one. It's hilarious.
He sings a song and he's like, oh, anyway, watch it because we won't do it any justice. But whenever we go, this is this one or that's that, we start chuckling.
Yeah. So that's that.
That's that.
Well, that's
no,
that. No,
that's
this
that.
is this.
But this is going to be this. No, this is this one. We're going to do that one.
We're going to do it. So when you listen to the next one, at the moment you're listening to this one, and when you're listening next time, you listen to that one.
Yeah.
All right?
Which will, at that point will be this one.
But right now it's that one. And then when we talk about this one, we'll be saying, you know that one.
But this one will be that one, but that one it will then be this one.
Yeah, it's all sort of constantly changing. And also, can I just say, just before we go, it's one of the things that is lost in this life. We're too fucking serious.
Yeah.
As soon as you laugh, smile, you release endorphins, and it makes life feel better. And if you can laugh with those that you love, it's even better.
Yes.
So yeah, but life just gets too serious. And I know we all got things like bills to pay and all that, but we're going to talk about this more in that one, not this one.
No,
but we are in that position, aren't we, where we're in a transition where there's so much uncertainty in the future.
Yeah.
But you can still fucking laugh.
You can still fucking laugh, and I've got a little Victor Meldrew story to share with you that Johnny won't even know. So we'll share with you that.
Possibly not interested.
In the next episode. Bye.
Bye.